Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Good morning, folks, and welcome inside the Evangeline Recreation Center as we get set for this afternoon's face-off between the Western Wolves and the Moncton Rocket. Is 10:21 the local time, is puck drop moments away. Starting in net for the Wolves, number 1, Peyton Cozier. She gets the nod for the home squad here in this morning's matchup. 200 feet from her, starting for the Rockets, number 30, Morgan Redmond. Rockets entering the game on a 9-1-1 record. Western Wolves entering with a 1-9-0 record as puck drop moments away. Live here on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Crothers. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Get your coffees as we get set here for puck drop as we're Colpitz will dig in against Stevenson here on the opening draw. Duncan and Chase on the wing for the Wolves. Stevenson wins it over to the wing. We are underway. That's dumped in by Duncan. Out to play it. Redmond plays it for Cormier. Pressured there by Chasson. She'll turn it over. Puck battled along the wall. Picked up Bourgeois. She'll look up the wall. Find Cormier. Cormier centers. That goes in behind. Gamble will pick it up on the far side. Trying to chip it out to Chasson. She chips it past Cormier, and Bourgeois picks it up. Works it over here for Cormier. Chanel and Melody out there to start for the Rockets. As it's worked back. Bourgeois just outside the blue line. She'll dump it back in. She'll peel off for a change. Nice move. Here's Daniel. Here's a chance down low. She cycles. She runs over Thomas as they collided in the slot. It's battled in the corner now. Murray will pick it up. Try to chip it around one. Can't do so as McFadden works it back to the point. Nice move around one Arsenault. Daniel trying to shot. It's blocked, though, by Murray. Worked back to the point. He's working it across ice to McFadden now. Looking for the slot. Here's Daniel picking it off, working it into the corner. Poked off of her, stick by McGuigan, and worked back up the wall. Poirier stepping up at the point and holding it in. Now worked out by McGuigan. McFadden will be first back for that. All the way down, an icing call. So they'll go 200 feet for icing. 18:28 remaining on the clock here in the first period, and a first whistle. Faceoff's going to go back in the Wolves zone as McGuigan's forced to stay as it went all the way down off of her stick. Richard will dig in here on the draw. Ward will work it back to the point. Bootleer dumping it down low for Savoie. Picked up, though. 214's trying to pick it up on the rim as it's worked down. Richards clearing up through the middle of the ice. Fitzpatrick now in the neutral zone. Pressured by Thomas. Working it up the wall for Savoie. Savoie bumped by McNeil. Worked back into the neutral zone. Finley Bacure as it's worked in. Bootleer backhand shot. Rebound. Pad save Cozier. Job by Peyton Cozier on a first high opportunity chance of the game as it's picked up. Worked out. Chip play there for McNeil. Too far for her as Bootleer collects. Works D-to-D. Fitzpatrick on the far side centering. McNeil will pick it off. Maggie McNeil works it in. Here's a chance for McNeil. McNeil pushing up Up ahead into the corner. Centering off a skate and pushed back in behind the net by Ward. Mills reverses, picked up by Boutlier though. Boutlier centers through the skates of McNeil into the neutral zone. Pino trying to work it up ahead as it's worked back here by the Rockets. Here's a chance back the other way. Pleward trying to go to the net. She gets taken down, no call on the play as it's worked back here. Chasson touches center and dumps it in. They'll get on the forecheck. Cormier first to it though. Chanel Cormier, defenseman for the Rockets as it's worked up. She gets center and dumps it in. The Rocket going to get on the forecheck. Gamble gets to it first. Off the wall. Pass Chasson and pass Bourgeois into the neutral zone. Bourgeois, nice move there. Leanne Bourgeois on a nice escape turnaround. Stevenson works up to Daniel. Daniel through the legs down to the corner though, as it was too hard on the between the legs play there as Daniel continues to control the puck on the half wall. Takes a bump there by Richards, worked up McFadden, drops it off to the point. Cormier just holds the line on the far side. Stevenson picks it up and works into the neutral zone now. Bourgeois picks it up. Leanne Bourgeois is going to skate. Chasson pokes it off of her stick. Elaine picks it up. Daniel in offside, just ahead of Elaine, and that'll be a whistle. Face-off going to stay just outside as Murray was there, pressuring that puck. Face-off just below us here at the Evangeline Recreation Center as Richards will dig in. One back, though, cleanly. So that'll be worked up the wall. Good job by Murray to win that face-off. It's worked back up the wall. Poirier. She'll skate it. Kick it far side for Arsenault. Arsenault stretch pass. Here's Richard getting a stick on it. Marissa Richards sneaking in behind the defenseman. She'll get to that puck. Savoie drops it off. Shot there. That's wide by Ward. Lauren Ward works it back to the point. Here's Poirier looking backdoor for Richard. Richard on the far side. Murray picks it up. Rimming it around to the near side now. Trying to chip it out. Good job there by Webster. As that goes down, Arsenault not enough for icing. She picks up, pressured by Duncan. Arsenault will wheel. Still pressured there by Duncan. Past McLean, and as that's worked up, Savoie trying to cut through the middle. Ward work to her. McNeil trying to work it up into the neutral zone. She gets it. It's Thomas and Mills out there with McNeil. It's picked up by Cormier, working it over the line. Cormier down on her backhand. Behind the net, stopping up. Picked up by Gamble, reverse play. Boutlier stepping in off the point, holds it momentarily. Thomas chipping it up to the point, no further. Colpitz kicking it back down. Boutlier will shovel it back in low. Gamble to it first, working it back up the same side wall. Her and Colpitz collide. Working it up for Murray. Murray takes a bump, turned over. Or it's Thomas, sorry, and that'll be a penalty now. 2 for head contact. As it looks like Pleward is going to go for 2 or less, and a power play for the Wolves. It's head contact called. Lily Pleward will sit for 2 or less, and a power play here. 14:40 remaining on the clock in the first period. Our first power play opportunity as we yet to see a goal. As we await our opening goal, Murray will dig in. McPherson's shot, pad save there by Redmond. Back to the point, dished off Murray, far side. McGuigan's shot hit the cage of Redmond. Back to the point, Murray will hold it in. Cycling it down low, Mills on the pressure. Murray in there as well. Mills centers, can't connect. Murray on the half wall, picked up Boutlier. Trying to work it out through the middle of the ice, turned over. Stevenson dumping it, but not all the way down as it's picked off and sent the full length of the ice. Good job there by Fitzpatrick to get it down the full 200. Murray. So 2 minutes for head contact. No double minor, non-intentional, so just a 2-minute penalty for Lily Pleward. Murray will pick it up. Chip play there. Stick down by Bourgeois, and McNeil will try to battle, picked off, back the other way. Daniel, she'll draw a penalty, and that'll be a stoppage of play here, 13:33, and a holding call. As Duncan's going to sit, so 4-on-4 action here for 53 seconds. 2 minutes for holding, and Kinley Duncan, the recipient of that. So Ward will dig in. She's got Daniel out there with him, tied up off the draw. Work back for Bourgeois now. At the point, Bourgeois down the wall. Here's Lauren Ward off the half wall. Shot from a sharp angle off the skate of Pino, and around the far side, Cormier picks it up. Cormier for Bourgeois. Bourgeois cycling it down low. She'll rim it around for Ward. Picked off Pinot. Up the wall, chipping it up. Bourgeois picks it up here at neutral zone, working it back for Ward. Now back, here's a chance for Daniel. One-on-one, Daniel loses the handle of the puck. Puck into the feet there of McAdam. McAdam had a goal last night. Richard off the bench, takes a bump there, gets away with one as the Wolves want to call. As that goes all the way down, right off the bench, picked up, worked back into the neutral zone. Good job, Poirier. Makes a move around one. 4-on-4 continuing here is now a power play for the Rocket as ref got in the way there of Poirier. Off the half wall now. Poirier centers for Arsenault. Arsenault walks, far corner. And that's knocked off her stick. Good read there by McNeil as she'll pressure Arsenault. McNeil still in on the forecheck. They run into Redmond. And McNeil's going to have to get all the way back. Picked up, here's Poirier. Nice pass. That'll find McFadden. Poked off of her stick by McGuigan. Good job there defensively. McGuigan centers right to Boutlier, though. Boutlier will walk across top of the line. Work it back. Here's Poirier. Back for Boutlier. Pressured by McNeil. Over for McFadden. Back for Boutlier. Boutlier, she'll let one go. Tipped on there. Hit McGuigan on the way through, and a nice save there by Cozier. Poirier up over the circles. She'll look, dish it off for Boutlier. Boutlier back for Poirier. Poirier down for McFadden. McFadden centers for Poirier, trying to slide in from the point. Boutlier's going to let one go. In front, shot, rebound loose. Rodyer couldn't collect it. McFadden in the half wall now, cycling it back for Rodyer. Too hard for her as it's picked up. McGuigan far side. Centers off the stick of McFadden. No icing as it goes all the way down 200 feet. Boutlier's going to go back and pressured by Mills. Boutlier picks it up. Centers. Too far off the skate there of Richards, and it's worked back. Losing an edge there, taking a fall. That was Cormier. Pino up the wall. Mills touches it for Murray, and Murray will break it out through the neutral zone. Mills in offside, and that'll go dumped in by Murray, and offside on the far side. Mills got excited on the 3-on-3 there as it's turned over momentarily. Boutlier works it up ahead. Murray picks it off. Battle here on the wall. Good crowd on hand this morning here. As Stevenson pressures Cormier. Cormier with a nice escape move. Centers, nice play there. Savoie bobbles it through the neutral zone. Picked up. Here's Cormier once again. Poked off of her stick right off the bench. Ward will dump it in, take a bump. McPherson will pick it up. McPherson looking through the middle, picked off by Bourgeois at center. Nice play to work it to the far side, chipped in by Plourde to Lauren. Ward will go after it now. Plourde will follow it up. Here's Plourde to the front of the net, one-handed shot, rebound. She gives Cozier a whack, looking for the rebound up in the air. Bourgeois shot blocked on the way through and up and out of play. Is that into the mesh and ended up staying right up on the glass side there. So faceoff's going to stay inside. Good job getting in front of that was Thomas, and a offensive zone draw here for the Rockets. Ward will dig in. Ward trying to win it back. That's snapped back though. Good job by McNeil digging in on the draw. Defensive zone draw for McNeil. One back, but Bourgeois gets it at the point now. Bourgeois works to the far side. Cormier shot. Saved there by Crozier. Good job by McNeil working it out now. Here's Chasson over the blue line. Chasson will dump it in. Poord will get to it first. She'll pressured. Turned over. McNeil's shot. Rebound loose in front. Cleared back. McGuigan at the point. Shot there. Trying to get it on was McGuigan from point, but it was blocked down by Bourgeois. She picks it up, works it for Elaine. Elaine centers. Connects. Now here's a chance for Plourde. Plourde in all alone. Backhand. Save there as Crozier closes the door on a breakaway opportunity for Lily Plourde. Nice breakout there. Elaine found her as she split through the defenseman and had a wide open chance. Tried to get it up on her backhand. Couldn't do so. Closing the door was Peyton Crozier. Nothing still to score. Gamble back for it. Richard pressuring her. She takes a bump. McFadden picks it off in the corner. Gamble trying to work it out. Over Pinot, far side. Backhanding up to Mills. Slows it down as Arsenault picks it up. Makes move around one to the slot. Cleared away. Off Duncan. She'll rim it around to the far side. Mills will get to it. Mills trying to chip it around. Good job by Daniels covering for at the point. Richard down low now. Marissa Richard on her backhand looking over some options. Cutting over top of the circles. Loses the handle. Poirier there to cover for her. Poirier drops it off for Arsenault. Arsenault to the front of the net. Pinot will pick it off. Chip play there. Duncan too far out of reach for her, and that'll go all the way. Icing on the play. 8:13 remaining on the clock here in the first period. Still no score between the Wolves and the Rocket. Face off going to go back to looks like the glove hand side here of goaltender Peyton Crozier. Had a few big saves in the first period so far. These two teams faced off last night. Rockets coming out victorious in that one. Boutlier trying to hold the line. Chip past her. Fitzpatrick can't hold the line. It comes out just barely as Pinot now has time. Chipping it into the neutral zone. Mills. Fitzpatrick picks it up. Backhanding it off for Boutlier. She'll relieve the rush. Up the neutral zone. Boutlier over the line. Shot there. Glove save. Held on Crozier. Once again, up for the task. Good job there by Lola Boutlier. Working it through the neutral zone and getting the shot away. Chasson picks it up off the draw. Works it for Webster. Webster will pressure Cormier. Cormier picks it up cleanly, works it. Cutting up through the middle, dishing it off to Savoie. Savoie trying to work it ahead. Good back check on the far side. It's worked back. Chasson for Bourgeois. Back for Cormier. Cormier works it up ahead. Over the line, Richard. Trying to work it towards the net. It's blocked. Good job there by McPherson as she battles for it in the corner now. Her and Ward. It's worked around to the far side. Arsenault trying to center. Picked up by Blackure. Back into the neutral zone. Blackure will pressure Cormier. Cormier, nice couple moves there. Showing off her agility. Nice move around one. Over the line. We worked in. Good job by Poirier. That's Audrey Poirier wearing the C for the Rocket this year. She has it still in the corner. Good job by Blackure pressuring her, pinning the puck against the wall in the corner. Picked up there. Elaine back to the point. Arsenault back for Elaine, cycling it down low. Picked off Blackure up to the point. Arsenault keeps it in. Back here's Ward. Shot right to the chest protector and held on for a whistle. No rebound on the play. 6:14 remaining here in the period. And a nice save. Peyton Crozier up for the task once again. Face-off going to go to the blocker side this time as McFadden and Daniel out there for the offensive zone draw with Elaine. Back. That goes all the way past Fitzpatrick. Not enough for icing, though, as Bootlear picks it up. McAdam will pressure her. Bootlear goes D to D. Fitzpatrick working it up for Elaine. Elaine in her feet, up to her stick. Backhand pass up for Daniel. Annabelle Daniel works it in, walks it in. Shot there. That goes off the stick as Richards picks it up in the corner. Pressure by Daniels. Daniels. Shot there. Cormier rebound loose in front into the feet. Now under the body. Still looking for it. Puck whistle hasn't gone yet. Now here's a penalty coming up. McFadden's going to take one as she gave McNeil an extra shot. That chipped out. Mills held up there by Fitzpatrick, and the whistle goes. And McFadden's going to take an extra one, as it looks like 2 for roughing in front of the net. And a Wolves power play here. So the second power play for the Wolves on an abbreviated one, as they took a penalty when they were up 5-on-4. A 4-minute head contact call, so an extended double minor penalty here as McFadden gave it to McNeil in front of the net, and she'll take a 4-minute head contact penalty and a 4-minute power play here for the Wolves. Stevenson wins it back for Chasson. D to D, Pinot. Mishandles the puck and back in the neutral zone, Chasson. Cutting back just inside the blue line, and he'll work it back and regroup. Pinot, far side, worked up. Duncan chipping it through. McNeil over her stick. Chasson will pressure. Good job by Chasson to pick it up. Here's Stevenson at the point. Stevenson back for Chasson. Back for Stevenson. Shot there. Rebound loose in front. Didn't make it all the way towards the net. And on a fanned-on one-timers, Plourd's going to battle down there with Duncan and McNeil. Now here's a chance. Trying to work it out. Picked up by Plourd, and a delayed call, and a 5-on-3 will continue here. It looks like it's going to be a hooking call on Bourgeois, so a 5-on-3 for the Wolves. Still 3:22 remaining on the first penalty. So if they're able to score within a minute and 23 seconds, that first penalty will stand. After that, it'll go down. If they can score in a minute and 22, it'll go down to still a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. That's cleared down the full length. So a full 2-minute power play, 5-on-3 here for the Wolves as they go all the way back. Working it out. 2-man swing picked up. Here's Murray. She'll collect, work her way through the neutral zone, dish it off. Mills poked off her stick, picked up though by Murray. Murray will work it in. Shot there, blocked. Ward, good job. Lauren Ward blocking that shot, and she'll dump it down the far length. Down the far side wall. McGuigan will go back all the way 200 feet for it. Brooke McGuigan working it wide for Murray. Murray, another cross ice pass. Trying to stretch it out over there with Stevenson. Pressured by Duncan. That's worked around. Poirier. Reverse play. So they'll try to kill off as much time. Bootlear. She'll step out through the middle and clear it all the way down 200 feet from in behind her net. As Poirier's going to pressure. Pinot. She'll pick it up with some speed and wheel it up the wall. Touch back there. Poirier reads it perfectly. Stevenson gets it. She'll get some speed moving up now. Across the blue line. Stevenson takes a bump, and Poirier looking for a call there. That could have been a body contact call or a cross check as it's worked back to the point. McNeil. D to D for Pinot. 25 seconds remaining on the second penalty. Here's a chance in front. Rebound. Shot away to the far side. Work back up top. Stevenson shot. Redmond save. Rebound loose. Held at the line, and a glove save there on a point-blank opportunity in front. And Maggie McNeil gets robbed by Morgan Redmond on a great save in front of the net. The rebound sat there loose. McNeil tried to get it home, and a glove save right on the line from her stomach. Morgan Redmond in a face-off to her glove hand side. 3:02 remaining here in the opening period. Face-off, one back. Here's McGuigan at the point. D to D, under the stick of Richards. Centers, off the skate of Cormier. Pressure though, good job on the forecheck there was Webster. Back to the point, Murray. Back down, here's Richards. Centers, up in the air. Fitzpatrick cleared out. Cormier as Daniel out of the box. 5-on-4 now for 1 minute and 10 seconds. She tried to spring away out of the bench as that's cleared down. Now here's Daniel. One-on-one opportunity, walks McGuigan. Shot there, save as a couple fakes, and big save there by Peyton Cozier on Annabelle Daniel, who was in all alone. Picked up there, Webster. Past her, worked back. Here's Poirier in through the neutral zone. Audrey Poirier leaves it for Annabelle Daniel. Under her skate and back to the way, Webster works it for Murray. Murray a move around one. 30 seconds remaining here on the power play. Zitz dumped in by Murray. She'll peel off for a change. Pressured there. Good job on the pressure by McPherson, but it'll get sent all the way down. McNeil will have to go back. She'll stop up behind her net. Look for an option. McNeil works it out now. Callie McNeil through the neutral zone, wearing the C for the Wolves this year. She gets stopped up by Poirier. Arsenault back for it. Pressured by McNeil. Centering pass right onto the stick, though. Picked up. 5 seconds remaining on the power play. Worked out. Marissa Richard into the neutral zone. Takes a whack from McNeil as it's worked in. Marissa Richard looking to center off the skate of McNeil, though. Battled on the far side corner. Cormier trying to center. Good job there by Blacure. Richards out of the corner with it. Richard trying to walk out front. Can't get a shot away. Fitzpatrick stepping up, gets it poked past her by Mills. Ward there to recover for her defenseman. Picked up. Lauren Ward going to wheel it through the neutral zone. Ward over the blue line, down and behind the net. Ward trying to cycle it up to the point. Cormier there to help out. Work back off the skate, though. Here's a chance. Duncan back the other way. Might have got away with the hooking call there as last minute to play here in the first period as it's worked up Savoie. She'll work it back for Richard. Poked off of her stick. Duncan now trying to work it around Boutlier. And Richard takes a bump behind the play. She'll draw a penalty and a power play upcoming for the Rockets as Pinot will touch up. And a cross-checking call here. Pinot will go sit with 21 seconds remaining here. Power play will carry over to the second period if they don't capitalize here on the offensive zone draw. Cross-checking call and a late power play opportunity here for the Rockets in the first period. 2 minutes for cross-checking. Misha Pinot, one back. Cormier works it back to the point. Good job there by Daniels to make sure it gets back to Poirier for Ward. 13 seconds for Poirier at the top. Pressured by Webster. Needed cross-ice pass for Ward off of her stick on a good pressure there by Richards. It's sent down by Murray. And that'll do it here for the first period of play. So after 1 period of play, deadlocked at zeros. We'll be back for the second period of action here on High Button Sports after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Good morning, folks, and welcome back inside the Evangeline Recreation Center as we wait for the ice to dry up here in the two ends. It's scoreless after one. The Rockets going to start this second period on the power play. An abbreviated minute and 39-second power play to start the second period for the Rocket. It looks like Poirier Daniel out there to start with Ward, Richard, and Cormier. So scoreless first. Still awaiting the first goal of the game as the power play starts off. Second period for the Rockets. Audrey Poirier giving her song request to the timekeeper's booth. Bit of a lengthy delay here, folks. We'll be underway here shortly. This game brought to you by John Ross & Sons. Visit John Ross & Sons for all your scrap metal needs. Goalie's trying to snow it up behind the net and around the net. Don't want any lost pucks left out there. Redmond snowing it up, and Crozier down in behind her net getting it snowy, so hopefully the snow will soak up some of the water. Lengthy delay. Start the second period. Maybe too much water put out on the by the Zamboni. So maybe we'll have to have a chat with Molson the rink dog about this one. Head over to High Button's Instagram page. So they'll squeegee off some of the water. Head over to High Button Sports Instagram page to view a exclusive interview with Sam and Molson. Molson, the rink dog here at the Evangeline Center. Sam, the Zamboni driver. But Molson, the main attraction here at the Evangeline Center. We had a behind-the-scenes interview with Sam and Molson yesterday during the third period. So like I said, head over to High Button Sports, Instagram, and other social medias to view that video. Crozier still down in her end, snowing it up and behind her net. The squeegeeing still continuing here, and it's been a good lengthy 10-minute delay. Still down in only one end. Once the girls get skating out there, it'll be fine. Everywhere else on the ice is all dry. It's just the two ends. It's kind of in behind the net. Maybe the Zamboni didn't shut the water off, and they going around in behind the nets. Now they're going to talk to the Zamboni driver down the far side. That is not Sam today. Sam and Molson must have had the day off. Worked a big 12-hour day yesterday. Squeegeeing going to continue down in the other end. 200 feet down the other side was 50-50 draw is now going to be announced. $145 goes home for the winner. Squeegeeing still continuing here. Hopefully you're still tuned in and you get a chance to go maybe top up your coffee or even grab a little snack. Hopefully that'll do it here. This ref skates the squeegee off to the Zamboni driver down the far side of the right side of your screen. Drop that off, and now we are set for our second period of action between the Wolves and the Rocket. Rocket's going to start with a 1:39 power play. Notice something here. Daniel on the draw, playing the point, Cormier up, so I wonder if they're going to try to win that back to Daniel. She's going to try to split up, and Cormier will tie her up. We'll see here as Richards will dig in. Trying to win it back, D to D. That's worked up, drop pass there. Daniels will work it in over the line. Daniel looking over an option. Handball DD for Poirier, back down low. Ward, back for Poirier, down for Ward. A little touch passing there going on between those two. Daniel back down low, looking for Ward. Cormier now in front of the net. Cormier normally a defense. Now drop pass. Here's Daniel. Shot, blocker, save, rebound. Another save, Crozier. Peyton Crozier with 2 big saves there on the penalty kill. As Ward dropped pass there, was trying to find down wall, and that'll go into the bench of the Rocket. And out of play, face off. Just under a minute now remaining in the power play for the Rockets. 19-19 remaining in the second period. Just over 40 seconds expired on a lengthy delay to start the second one off a very wet ice surface in the two ends of the rink as Daniel will bob her way through the zone. And she enters, sets up, down low. Richard back for Daniel. Back down for Richard. Pressured there by Blacure. She'll try to clear off the body of Daniel. She'll walk it off the half wall. Daniel shot there. Pad save in behind. Cormier still parked out in front. That's Chanel Cormier normally playing up at the point as Poirier down the wall. Ward cutting back. Cormier going to park herself in front once again. Takes a little bit of a high step. Gives a slash there for Blacure. Ward going to walk her way over top of everyone. Ward there, shot in front. Cormier couldn't find the direction in front and net off its bearings. A whistle goes and a face-off. Going to stay inside and a skate blade popped off. Crozier lost her blade in the net. She'll have to get that pop back on, and Peyton Crozier having up a couple big saves, but her blade popped out there. She wouldn't have been able to push. It's funny when the players lose a blade or something like that. They try skating off. I couldn't imagine a goalie trying to do that. Coach getting told to stay at the bench. It's all good. Her skate blade just going to get popped in. Cheers to the official giving her a hand down there. As I'll take a sip of my coffee. Hope you guys are enjoying your morning here live. Thanks for tuning in here on High Button Sports, live from the Evangeline Recreation Center. A little delay there. Nothing crazy though. Gets her blade back in, and that's worked out. Fitzpatrick back. She'll cut back up the wall. Nice skate move there. Fitzpatrick showing like she's going to wheel the puck, cutting right back up the wall, working it into the neutral zone. She'll battle it in. McGuigan picks it up. Brooke McGuigan worming it around. Back to full strength. Sent back in. McGuigan going to go back for it. Up the wall, picked off. Bootler at the point. Bootler's going to walk, work it down the wall. Under the stick, though, of Colpitts. Back into the neutral zone. Bootler right back into the offensive zone. She'll head off for a change. Full line change for the Rocket going on right now. McGuigan stretch pass for Mills. Over the line. Nice move. Here's Mills. Shot there. High and wide. Thomas gets it in the corner, cycling it down low for Mills once again. Kayla Mills leaves it out front, trying to connect. Here's a chance in front. McNeil trying to bang one home. Can't go, so here's a chance once again. McNeil picks it off. Good back check there by Thomas. Centering shot there, goes off the stick in the corner. Good job by Renman getting it out of harm's way. McNeil trying to work it back up the wall. McFadden picks it off, and she'll work it right through the feet of Thomas there. She tried to close him up in time, couldn't do so. All the way down, Gamble. Puller gets there first, though. She picks it up with control now up the half wall. Trying to drop it off for Bourgeois. It gets poked past her. Will that have enough for icing? It trickles down. Arsenault, no icing on the play. Arsenault gets to it first. She's on her knees trying to push it out. Good job there to stick with it. Picked up Elaine. Knocked off of her stick. She'll have to regroup back into her, behind her net. Arsenault gets it back. Centering pass. Picked off up into the air, but didn't get enough on it, and that's a hand pass. Good job there by the linesman calling the hand pass. Green stripe on the arm means one of the first-year officials She had the right call there, the Rockets. See, hand pass. The Rockets. It's going to stay inside, so the pass off the hand out into the neutral zone, and it's touched up. 16:41 remaining here in the second period. Still tied up at 0-0. Still waiting the first goal of the game. Pushed in. Cormier rimming it around. Savoie trying to get it out. Good job there to poke it out. Here's a chance. Ward tied up by Duncan. She tried to work it in. Blackir getting back into her position now as she stepped up at the point. Savoie picking it up over the line, dishing it out to the far side. Richard. Richard's shot there high. Past the blocker side of goaltender Peyton Crozier, having herself a solid start here so far. Poirier, move around one, pressured again by another as Murray in on the forecheck with Duncan, worked up here. Poirier, shot, blocker save, Crozier once again. Peyton Crozier up for the task, that goes all the way down, going to be an icing call here against the Wolves, and they'll have to go all the way back. Crozier, great start to the second period once again. 50-50 call, get rained out here. Inside the Evangeline Center, waiting for the announcer of the winner. As it's one back, Fitzpatrick. Shot, block, good job there by Duncan. Sent right back in. Cormier rimming it around for Colpitts on the far side. Bootler's going to step in off the point, pick it up. Here's a chance. Bootler's going to try to work his way to the net, loses the handle on it though. Cormier trying to center for her. Murray picks it off, works it back. Fitzpatrick holds the line now. Here's a chance off the skate. Cormier works it back for her is Colpitts on a nice feed. Rodier in there to help out. Rodier cycling it under the stick of Blackir, trying to get it back for Rodier. Here's a chance. Rodier can't get it shot away there as it's battled for. Now here's Colpitts. Good stick lift there by Murray. Puck still loose in front. Cormier gets it lifted after her stick. Puck still battling. Cleared back into the neutral zone there. Good job to clear it out. Blackir. That was Finley Blackir. Fitzpatrick, nice move. And a nice backhand pass, finds a lane. She'll get some speed. Pressure there by McNeil. A big collision by Duncan and Elaine at center ice. No call on the play. They just ran into each other with the head down as Elaine cut through the middle. Now Bootler's going to work it back over the line. McFadden, pressured by McGuigan. That's going to be a penalty as she got chopped down now. Here's McFadden as Redmond heads to the bench. That goes down. No icing on the call as it was sent back by the Rockets. Arsenault picks it up. Sends it back down. That'll be an icing back the other way. Crozier out to play it. Ref didn't know that the goalie was touching the puck. She didn't blow the whistle, but 14:02, the Wolves are going to take a penalty for slashing as McFadden was chopped down on a power play here. Once again, Cormier is going to go out, and she's going to play forward. Daniel going to cover for her position out in the backside there on the left side point. One back. Poirier for Daniel now. To Richard. Back for Daniel. Back for Richard. Cormier parked out front. Ward down back door. Poirier down for Ward. Over in the far corner. Ward back for Poirier. Poirier looking over an option, going to wiggle her way down. Switching places. Warm backdoor pass. Good stick there in front. Pinot knocking that backdoor pass. Richard was back there waiting for it. Poirier back for Daniel. Cormier once again still out front. Looking for a tip. Here's a chance. Richard fans on the pass. Ward centers off the skate and cleared away. Out of harm's way over to the far side. Poirier back for Daniel up top. Looking backdoor. Tipped on by the stick of Stevenson. Saved by Crozier as it's picked up. Ward back for Daniel. Setting up here nicely. Poirier down low for Ward. Ward centering off the Shin pad of Pinot picked up. Poirier backdoor. Richard shot there. Pad save. Ward. She buries that home. No chance for Crozier. She made 4 or 5 saves back and forth. And Lauren Ward capitalizes off a rebound opportunity, and then we have our first goal of the game. Lauren Ward on a power play opportunity. She nets that home on a rebound off the pad, and Peyton Crozier had no chance on that one, and a 1-0 lead here. 54 seconds were remaining on the power play, and a nice setup. It's really spreading out the zone where the Rockets, it's almost like a box +1 type style power play, as they like to work it around the exterior and try to find their way through to the net, and a nice power play goal. They moved it around really well. 12:56 remaining in the second period. Murray will dig in, back to full strength, 5-on-5. Webster works it, dumping it in. On the far side, that was McPherson, as the Wolves trying to get back on the power play, and then not quite sure. Not quite sure what the whistle's for. I'll have to take a look back at that one, but I'm pretty sure she was about 2 feet over the red line there. Face off one back, Bootlier. Shot there from distance. End up hitting Colpitch. She's a little slow to get up. She'll head right off to the bench. Might have hit her in the ribs. Zitz worked up, dumped in by Duncan. They'll get back on the forecheck. Webster in there with Duncan. Bootlier chipping it around. Rodger takes a fall. Duncan centers back. McPherson at the point. Under her stick. Shot there from distance. Wide though, and back up to the short side here. Blackure sends it back down low. Bootlier centers across. Worked up. Here's Cormier. Here's a chance for Murray. In alone. Stick lifted there. Hucking call coming up against Bourgeois. As we'll get the official call on the goal for the Rocket. It was Ward from Richard and Poirier on a power play chance there. Bourgeois is going to head to the box now, and a Wolves going to get to the odd man advantage here in the second period. 2-minute power play for Hooking. 11:52 remaining. Poirier out now. Cormier out there as well. One back by McFadden. Chanel Cormier back to her defensive side now. She was parked out in front of the power play. That's past Pinot. Held up there as Plord tried to break free. Picked up, wheeled up the wall. Good job there to keep her feet going. Stevenson and went over the blue line. Off of her stick, she loses an edge and takes a fall down. Clearing attempt, knocked down by Chasson. That might have been high sticking. They'll play on though as it's in the neutral zone. McFadden move around one, work back. Stevenson pokes it away. Here's Thomas off the bench. She'll pick it up in the neutral zone. Working it in over the line and dumping it in. She'll run into Poirier. Audrey Poirier with an assist on the power play goal as that goes over the stick of McGuigan and back. Chasson's going to have to go all the way back. Crozier out to play it. Nice job there by Peyton Crozier working it up into the neutral zone. That finds Mills. Poirier pressured. Offside at the line. Official here just below us. Poirier's going to take her time. Take as much time off the clock. A minute now remaining here in the power play. Chasson ran into the official, getting back to it first. There's Ward. She's got the goal in the game so far on a power play marker on a backdoor rebound off the shot of Richard and found now Arsenault back at the point. And it found Ward backdoor. Mills trying to clear it out. Arsenault stepped up. Half a minute now remaining in the power play for the Wolves as they look to get it out of their own zone. Savoie and Ward hounding all over the puck as it's worked up Murray. If she can get her feet going, they have a 3-on-2 opportunity as Mills picks it up, dumps it off the skate. Right inside the blue line and work back Ward into the neutral zone. Richard up the wall. McPherson gets center, dumps it in. McAdam Shot there from distance, rebound, and behind picked up by Arsenault. Burke back to the point. McPherson trying to hold the line, poked past her by Savoie and into the neutral zone. McPherson up through the middle. Richard backhanding it over here. Webster touches it out far side. Here's McAdam down the wing. McAdam on her forehand. Centers under the stick though. Back to the point. Picked up McPherson. He's trying to get it down low. Continues centering pass. Back to 5-on-5. Here's Elaine. Down the far side. Gamble will get in her way. And good job defensively there as McAdam picks it up. Gets center. Trying to dump it in as Boutlier steps up. Goes off of her. And back to the way. McFadden. Nice move around one. McNeil going to have to get back. Daniel has McFadden shot off the post and in. And McFadden runs over Daniel on the celebration as I don't think she was expecting her to jump. And a 2-0 lead here for the Rockets on a nice goal by Daniel. Posted in, no chance for Crozier on a perfectly placed shot. Annabelle Daniel showing us how she tapes her stick pregame. Head over to High Button Sports Instagram and check that video out later. Maybe credit to that. She gives the Rocket a 2-0 lead here. She picks it up right off the draw, trying to work it back. So potentially maybe the freshly taped stick is the reason why. As that's worked back. Bourgeois working it back down. Elaine shot there off the body into the corner. McFadden couldn't get to it. Pinot dumping it in. No icing. Sent in. Redmond out to play it, leaving it there. Bourgeois up the wall, stepping in. Gamble off the body of Elaine on the dump back in. McFadden going to get the assist on the goal. As here they come again. McFadden and Annabelle Danabelle connecting on the goal. So it's worked in. McPherson takes a hit from Cormier and then gives one right back to Bourgeois. Official taking a fall on the far side. Chasson centering. Here's a chance in front. Murray spin. Looking backdoor for Chasson. Bourgeois breaks it up though. Chasson cycling it down low. Cormier getting to it first though. Chipping it out into the neutral zone. Good weight on that. Not enough to get all the way down for icing. McPherson faking to go up the wall. Going to go back into her own zone. Set up in her behind her own net. Working it up the wall. Stretch pass. Murray leaves it for Thomas. Shot there off the crossbar and out of play. As that was probably offside by a couple feet. So off the crossbar to play. Faceoff's going to stay inside to the blocker hand side. So Annabelle Daniel with the goal and chance for the Wolves to cut the lead. Off the crossbar though and out of play. Here's Poirier dishing it wide. Poirier to Rodier trying to work it back for Poirier. Here's a chance back door. Big save. Crozier working it across. And a big save by Peyton Crozier once again closing the door on Melody Cormier. Is what a great feed there and a nice save. Peyton Crozier once again. Quick officials talk here between the coach of the Wolves and the official on the bench. I'll be back into the zone now. They have a quick chat with the other official now. Colpitt's off the draw, battling with McNeil. An extra shot there. They both give each other a cross check. Cormier chopped down by McGuigan. Now here's a chance out front. Richard bumping Rodier and back the other way. Here come the Wolves. McAdam, cross ice pass. Here's Mills. Mills going to work in on her backhand, trying to center a pass. Goes off the stick of Arsenault and she picks it up in the corner, trying to center. connects with Rodger. Touch pass there for Colpitts. Chip play up ahead. McNeil's going to pressure the puck. Up the wing into the neutral zone. Gamble picks it up, gets center. Dying to dump it in, but Cormier picks it off. Back the other way, Melody Cormier. Good back check there by Gamble. As some pushing and shoving continues behind the play. And an icing call here. As Gamble got taken down in behind the play as it went all the way down for icing after. A face off in the offensive zone. Richard in on the draw. She works it back for Boutlier. Boutlier down the wall for Ward. Gamble. And Richard will battle. Working it to Ward now. She takes a bump from Gamble. She gets taken down. Boutlier's shot tipped on. Crozier up for the task again. Paddling that puck into the corner out of harm's way. Peyton Crozier. As it's worked up, here's Mills into the neutral zone. Boutlier though for it. To it first. Mills turns it over though. Good forecheck there by Mills, pressuring Boutlier as it's worked back outside the line. Nice play there to connect and find Thomas. That'll get sent down and a face-off going to come outside. As Thomas touched the puck, not being able to get off in time. There's a change going on inside the zone. That's the thing about the second period changes is the forwards door way inside the zone. Here in the Evangeline Recreation Center as it's worked back. D2D Blacure dumped in by McPherson. Richard and Thomas battling down there now. As they're tangled up. Back to the point. Blacure holds it in. Rimming it around Thomas and Bourgeois. Bourgeois gets to it first. Richard poked off of her stick, sent right back in. Good job to send it back in behind McPherson as it's sent past Blacure. McPherson back for it last. She chips it off the wall. Back Thomas centers. And all the way back into the neutral zone. Bourgeois back up for Richard. Blacure stepping up, works it for Poulard. Poulard running over McPherson on the far side. As the puck went into the bench. Face-off won back by Murray. She rims it up the wall, trying to connect with Duncan. Poirier picks it up, though. Up top in the far side there. Poirier trying to cut through the middle on a nice toe drag attempt there, but knocked off her stick. Good job by Thea McFadden getting back here. Savoie down low, looking over an option on her backhand, trying to center. McGuigan picks it off, works it for Murray. Murray now up into the neutral zone. Good job there, getting it down. Hallie Murray. Played by Redmond, kind of in no man's land in between the two. Daniel and Poirier is picked up McFadden. That's the way center back for Arsenault. Good touch play there by Savoie to work it to her. Arsenault over the line on her forehand, looking out front. Backdoor pass for Savoie. Good stick by Murray on the back check. Job there by Hallie Murray as it's worked in. High shot there. Here's a chance in front. Good job keeping that in behind the net with the paddle of her stick. Was Peyton Crozier. Worked back into the neutral zone. Arsenault is going to try to turn it right up quick. That goes off the skate though, stepping up. Chipped around her was Richards. That's a chance. McFadden. Nice move around one. McFadden short side. Good save there off the rebound. Picked up by Elaine. Daniel out of the corner. Looking. Stick save. Picked up in the slot. Cleared away by Chasson. That's slow rolling. Is that going to have enough? No icing. Arsenault touches it right before the line. Work back. Rodger into the neutral zone. Pressured by Chasson. Rodger over the line. Chipping chase to herself. Picked up there down low. And behind the net. Rodger giving Gamble a bump as Gamble will pin her on the far wall. Elaine in there to help out. She goes down well with Gamble as Rodier bowling a china shop down there trying to get out of the pile. Colpitts in there now to help out. Pinot pressuring Colpitts in behind the net. Colpitts trying to find Cormier back at the point. Boutlier dumping it down low. Pinot getting to it, rimming it right back up. Boutlier mishandles the puck. Chasson pokes ahead. Here's a 2-on-1. McNeil and Cole will go against Colpitts. Shot there, glove save. McAdams' stick goes flying up and out of over the netting and out of play. The official call an interference call. Oh, the stick went all the way up and over. So the ref gave it unsportsmanlike, but I believe it was meant to be interference. So in an interference call, with 2:45 remaining here in the second period, of power play for the Wolves. McNeil shot there. That's floated wide though. Duncan pressuring Ward. She can't clear it now, but McGuigan goes under her stick. McGuigan got one step ahead of herself there. She was looking towards the net as going to be dumped down by Cormier. Good job by Chanel Cormier. Playing a little bit of forward and defense. Forward on the power play, defense on the penalty kill. Colpitts and McGuigan tied up in behind. McNeil will work it up. McNeil on the half wall. Pressured there by Bourgeois. Back. Cormier picks it up and clears it down. Ward's going to pressure that puck now. Chasson's going to have to go all the way back for it. Chasson tied up there with Ward. So that'll do it for the first minute of the power play. Stevenson works it back for McNeil. Through the neutral zone, now over the line. She cuts back looking to set something up. Here's McNeil. Far side, Chasson shot, glove. Couldn't hold it in though as that worked over to the far side. Mills back to the point. DDD, Pinot for Chasson. Working it back, nice pass there. Murray shot blocked by Arsenault. Nice look there by Chasson. Pinot back for Chasson, down low. Centering for Thomas, trying to find Murray, and Arsenault picks it up, working it back to the point. Good step up there, Pinot down low. Murray will pick it up. Looking over an option, Murray down low. She'll work her way out to the half wall, working it to the far side point. Good power play set up here so far. Shot there, worked wide though, as Murray now picking it up on the half wall. Last minute to play here in the second period. Still 8 seconds on the power play, as we're inside a minute now in the period. No call on the play there. Mills slow to get up. Shot there, rebound. Murray picks it up in the corner. Mills looking parked out front. Murray shot off the shoulder, short side. Back to full strength. Pinot down the wall. McFadden picks it off as she's out of the bench. As we're back to 5-on-5, Marissa Richard trying to funnel it towards the net. Pinot picks it up in the corner, works it back off the wall. Out to the neutral zone. That's too many men, as Arsenault hadn't stepped off in time. And another power play here. 20 seconds remaining in the game period, and a power play. Too many men, or women on the ice, sorry, for the Rockets. As stepping over was Boutlier. Arsenault just couldn't get off in time as the puck went right to her. So a 20-second power play here to finish off the period, and that'll carry over into the third period. So another penalty carrying over. This time it'll carry over in favor of the Wolves, and a face-off here in the offensive zone. 20 seconds remaining with McFadden. We'll dig in. Stevenson. McFadden gets waved. Daniel in to take it now against Stevenson. McNeil out there with Stevenson as well. Trying to work it back. Off the draw, can't do so. Audrey Poirier goes down. No call on the play there. Work back McFadden. She's got a little time left, just over 10 seconds now. Daniel in over the line. Daniel toe drag around one. Here's Daniel backhand. Big save, Crozier. She'll pick her own rebound up, trying to work it over top of the circles, and that'll do it here for the second period of action. So after 2 periods of play, the Rocket 2, Wolves still no score. Thanks for tuning in here on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Crothers. We'll be back for third period of action after this short intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back inside the Evangeline Center here in Wellington, PEI, as we get set for third period of action. The Wolves will start on a power play on a late holding call in the second period, and third period underway now here. McNeil pushing it ahead for Duncan. Duncan shot there into the chest of Redmond, and that'll be held on to for a whistle. Fans settling in here into their seats here. A little bit of a lineup at the canteen maybe, and some fans starting to funnel back into the rink here now as it's worked back. Chasson to the point. She works it down. Up top now, work back Chasson for Pino. Pino's shot there into the glove. Rebound loose in front, trying to bang that one home in front. Couldn't get enough stick on it there. On a rebound chance, was parked alone in front. It's number 16, that's Stevenson. Miley Stevenson, as she's out there with McNeil and Duncan as it's sent around. Fitzpatrick will rim it all the way back far side. Chasson trying to get there in time, just holds it at the line. Read perfectly by Poirier and sent back out into the neutral zone. Poirier's going to skate it out. 2 on 3 as she cuts back. She'll take as much time as she can, as we're under a minute remaining here in the power play for the Wolves. Work back. Here's Pleward in the neutral zone. She picks up and works it over in the offensive zone, out on her forehand. She gets spun around there by McNeil. Chasson goes down. That's going to be a 5-on-3 here for about 45 seconds. Sorry, for about 40 seconds. And a hooking call. Pleward's going to go for tripping. And a 5-on-3 here for the Wolves. Their second 5-on-3 of the game. If you remember, they had an abbreviated 5-on-3 at the start of the game as well in the first period. So see if they can't capitalize on here on a two-man advantage. Trying to cut the lead into one as they trail by 2. 19 minutes or so remaining here in the game. Shot there. Guigan right on, and Thomas going to drive towards the net and held on for a whistle. 33 seconds remaining on the first penalty to number 12, Maxime Arsenault, and Lily Pleward taking her second penalty of the game. She's in the box with her. Thomas, high slot shot off the glove of Redmond. Mills and Bourgeois battling down low as Thomas is going to try to get in there. She picks it up. Bourgeois. Nice move around another, and Bourgeois is going to dump it down the full length. Lauren Ward will go pressure, get there first, actually, and a little stop shimmy shake there by Lauren Ward. Down low, she's going to just pin it on the end wall and kill as much time as she can. Off the penalty clock, as that'll do it for the first penalty, and 5-on-4 now as that's skated up. McGuigan over the line, dishing it. Here's Murray centering back through, and that doesn't connect. Cormier send it all the way down. No icing on the play. She peels off her, and Bourgeois, good job killing the 5-on-3 and back to 5-on-4 for about a minute and 10 seconds. So Pleward serving her 2 minutes for tripping as Thomas picks it up now. On the power play, working it out around Boutelier. It's stepped into there by Boutelier. Boutelier picks it up and works it right back in. Cormier picking it off. Melody Cormier down on her backhand, trying to spend as much time down in that zone as she can as they're short-handed. Stevenson trying to clear it, can't do so. Picked up the point, shot there. Crozier paddled it into the corner. Pinot in behind for Chasson, back for Pinot. Pinot as McNeil stretched out of the zone. Trying to touch it there, can't get enough on it as it's sent all the way back in by Boutlier. Lola Boutlier playing a solid defensively game so far as well, with the touch of offense throughout. Poirier far side. Turns over into the feet. McAdam on the forecheck. McNeil in there to help out. McNeil moves it D to D, trying to chip it in. Richards here just in front of us. She sends it down off the skate of Poirier in behind the net. As she'll look for an option now. Centers McFadden up in the air. Couldn't knock it down, but it'll be collected in the neutral zone by Elaine, working it up ahead. Trying to connect with Daniel. Annabelle Daniel, brother of former Moncton Wildcat Alexi Daniel. Played for the Moncton Wildcats, I believe, finished maybe wearing a letter. Now here's a chance for Elaine on a beautiful feed there from Poirier. McGuigan picking it up, knocked off of her stick. Richards setting it right back. Arsenault picks it up. Arsenault out of the box, back to 5-on-5 hockey here now is poured out as well. As Arsenault picks it up, nice move around one. Arsenault's going to work it in. Over the line on her backhand now, cutting back, working back to McFadden at the point. Heads up into the bench of the Wolves, up and out of play. Hit the Legion, the Royal Legion sign, branch number 17, the Wellington Legion branch. Sign right above the bench there of the Wolves. Face-off going to go inside this time. 16:07 remaining here. Shot there, Cormier high, blocker save. Richards centering out front off the paddle, back for Cormier's shot. Fans on it though. Stevenson picks it up. It's going to be a one-on-one. Poked off of her stick though, is trying to work it in was Maya Stevenson. Potential sisters Maya and Miley Stevenson. It's Cormier. D to D. Bourgeois. Nice pass there. Under the stick of Richard. Gets enough on it to take away the icing. Blacure backhanding it around. Ward back to the point. No one there is changing where the defenseman is. Boutlier. Far side pass. McNeil off the bench. Working it back. Here's Blacure. Blacure touches up. No icing. As McNeil going to pressure now in behind the net. Hallie McNeil looking out of the front. Here's a chance in front. McAdam looking to bury it home. Back to the point. Under the stick, though, and out into the neutral zone. Just out of the reach of Pinot. Backhand pass. Got to be careful. They're trying to get another too many men. Power play as it's over on the far side. Work back into the zone. Pinot now at top. Working it back. Here's a chance. Gamble. High slot. Shot there. Rebound. Loose in front. Couldn't get enough shot on there. As that puck picked up in the corner. As that puck bounced over the stick of Chasson on the rebound. She had a good opportunity. As the Wolves looking to get within one here. 14.5 minutes remaining here in the third period. 2-0 lead for the Rocket. Colpitts picks it up, works it over the blue line. Trying to work it through Richards. Can't do so. Poked off of her stick into the corner. Thomas trying to get to it first. Now back at the point. Poirier takes a little bit of a bump by Thomas. A delayed call there. That was late. On a late reaction call there. And Thomas is going to go for body contact. She took out Poirier. A little bit of a late reaction. But nonetheless, a power play here coming for the Rockets. A 2-goal lead here. Big kill coming up for the Wolves. They really need to keep this one within 2 here. Halfway through this is goals hard to come by against this Rocket team. Only allowing so far in the season 21 goals against through about 10 games or so, or a little more. They've played 11 games. So that's worked back to the point. Daniel now. Nice move around one. Annabelle Daniel tried to get a shot away. Picked off. McGuigan's going to clear it. So they've played 11 games and only 21 goals again, so that's averaging about 2 goals against a game. So if they can keep that intact, the Wolves might be able to battle back here. Ward back to the point. Poirier over for Daniel. Backdoor pass, trying to connect. Picked off. Ward picks it up in the corner now. Is good stick there, deflect it. Was McPherson. McPherson gets pushed down. Centering pass all through the feet there and work back. Mills is going to try to get to it first down the far side. Mills trying to center. She'll go into the corner and battle with Poirier now. Mills turns it over. Good forecheck there by Mills. Poirier will weave her way out through the neutral zone. So Kayla Mills on the forecheck. She'll head off for a change. Chasson out to kill. Half a minute now remaining in the power play here as McFadden picks it up, spinning out of the corner. McFadden, another spin move. Down low. Up top for Bourgeois now. Back for Boutelier. Boutelier for Bourgeois. Down low. Rodier back for Bourgeois. D. Boutelier. Bourgeois. High slot. Nice move around one. Bourgeois shot. Tipped on. Rebound. Crozier pokes it into the corner. Good job there by Crozier. Boutelier back to even strength now here as penalty expires to Thomas. McFadden down low. Looking over. Cycling it for Elaine. Rodier parked alone in front. Trying to feed it out on her backhand, but good job by McPherson just getting a skate on as it's in her feet now. Puck battle there, Elaine and McPherson along the end while Rodier picks it up. Out of the corner, over top of the circles, Rodier on her backhand trying to get something going here. McFadden, nice move around one. Good job defensively helping out there. Was McPherson. Puck in behind. Duncan and Boutelier collide. Out to center ice. Elaine now picking it up. She'll go 2-on-3. Is off the bench. Savoie is going to jump in the far side. Pinot picks it off. She'll get her speed moving up the ice. Pinot up the wall. Look at the speed there. She's going to pressure. Now here's a chance. McNeil trying to poke it ahead. They could have had an opportunity. Great speed there by defenseman Misha Pinot. As Gamble battling there. McAdam going to pressure. Bourgeois picks it up again. Head man pass there for Plourde. Plourde trying to work it in. Picks it off of Gamble. They battle down in the corner now. Gamble up the wall. McAdam was looking into the slot area looking for Savoie coming off the bench. Picked off on the backhand centering attempt and worked out by McNeil. Good job by McNeil to keep control of it and work it in. Here's a chance. McNeil centering pass, shot, scores! Stevenson buries it home on a nice chance, or a nice pass there by McNeil. And Maya Stevenson buries it home. And they'll cut the lead down to 1 on a nice feed by the captain, Callie McNeil. And we have our 1-goal game here now with 10:37 remaining. So McNeil setting up Stevenson on a great feed. Good working play there by McNeil. And the Wolves within 1 as that went snuck past the glove hand side of Morgan Redmond. As the Wolves looking to keep the momentum going here as they get back in. Trying to forecheck and turn a puck over. Murray in the slot. Has Thomas out there with her. Well with the most recent goal scorer, Maya Stevenson. Stevenson pressuring Poirier down the far side. Good job there by McPherson. Chipping it out. Cormier. Cross ice pass. Ward dumping it in. She'll just kind of let McPherson collect it up. Pressuring now. Thomas up the wall. Thomas centering. Finds Mills one-on-one. Mills going to go one-on-one here against Cormier. Nice move to the middle. Mills trying to work it through. Knocked off of her stick and back the other way. Come the Rocket. Audrey Poirier stretch pass. Too far. Will that have enough? And I'll go all the way down for icing and a face-off. All the way back as Cormier and Richard are going to have to come back out on the ice. So An offensive zone draw here. There's a pressure trying to continue, trying to tie this game up at 2. Work back through the middle of the ice. Nice pass here. Ward over the line. Dumping it in. She'll head off for the change. Picked up on the far side. Centers off the skate there of Boutlier. Boutlier works it back, but picked off Webster. Chipping it in. She'll pressure Bourgeois. That's Webster down the far wall. Bourgeois, nice escape turn there. Centering pass. Here's Daniel. She's got 1 in the game. Second goal. As of right now, the game-winning goal up to this point. Daniel takes a hard tumble in the corner. Probably not too excited and thrilled about that. Centering pass picked off. Bourgeois reading plays very well here in the third period. Picked up, chipped out, just to the point, though, and sent right back in by Bourgeois. Pinot chipping it around for Duncan. Slows it down, though, to Boutlier's shot there. Blocked by Pinot. Kicking it wide. Too far to the reach of Chasson. That's going to go all the way down and be an icing call here. With 8:37 remaining on the clock. An icing call here. That was just out of the reach of Chasson. And face-off's going to go all the way back down. Into the zone of the Wolves here. 1-goal game. Live from the Evangeline Center here on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in here on this Sunday morning matchup. Puck one back. Boutlier shot blocked on the way through. Clearing attempt. Boutlier's going to step up once again, and that'll get cleared by her. If you're having a good morning, enjoying your coffee and breakfast here, maybe closer to lunchtime now. As it's worked back. Down low, picked up McFadden in her own zone, working it out into the neutral zone now. Here's Thea McFadden, one-on-one, down the wing, cutting back, going over some time, cycling it down low. Richards will get to it. She'll battle down there with Daniel. McGuigan, far side, off a skate, out. Picked up, here's Duncan, 2-on-1. She'll dump it in and head off for a change. She was exhausted. Redmond picking it up, stopping it up there for Poirier, and she'll work it out. Centering pass, finds Colpitts. Colpitts working that up to Plourde. Over the line, Lily Ploure's shot there, blocked. Dumping it back down. Now here's a chance in the slot. Knocked away by McGuigan. Plourde down low. Trying to center. Good job working it up as Thomas and Rodier have a couple words and maybe a little bit of a slash each there as it's worked back. Good job by Poirier. Toe drag around one. Here's Audrey Poirier's shot. Rebound. Nothing as that's into the chest protector, and good job holding on to that was Peyton Crozier. As puck rimmed around to the far side, Mills trying to chip it out. Cormier pressuring it back down in. McPherson chipping it up the wall. Webster trying to break free. Can't do so. Savoie trying to get it in. Chipped up the wall though. Blacure. Cormier picking it up now. Working it over into the blue line. Drop pass. Here's Cormier for Cormier. Shot there up over onto the blocker. Rebound up in the air. Hand pass. So it goes off the hand of Cormier, and first to touch it was Lauren Ward, but Chanel Cormier and Melody Cormier connecting for a high danger opportunity. Face-off's going to come outside. 2-1 the score. 6:42 now remaining in the clock. Good back and forth game here between these two today. Last night the Rocket coming out victorious. I believe a score of 7-1 was the final last night. Much better game here for the Wolves this afternoon. Sent back in. Pinot. Round for Gamble. Pinot now will pick it up. We'll see if she gets her feet moving up ice. She had a good display of speed in the last shift she had out there as Chasson chipping it up just out of the zone now. Cormier trying to center, picked up. Here's McNeil. She's got the assist in the game for the Wolves so far. The lone assist on the lone goal as they trail 2-1. Gamble Stretch pass off the skate of Poirier. Poirier read that perfectly, and she'll collect and work it back for Bourgeois as they connect now into the neutral zone. Move around one, picked up, chip to herself. Too far though. Poirier, once again, she'll rag the puck back. Escape turn, looking over an option. She'll try to eat up as much time as she can. Centers, picked off by Richards. Dumped in Thomas. Good job there. She'll dump it in, but Redmond's going to play it for Boutlier. Boutlier up the wall, kicked away by Duncan. McFadden going to try to work it. Now here's a chance. Duncan shot now. Work towards the front of the net. Puck still loose. Shot there. Murray couldn't bury it home. Nice move around one. Here's Daniel going to work it into the neutral zone. She's going to go one-on-one. Nice move one. Annabelle Daniel, another round. Shot there. Off the stick in front. Here's a chance in front and buried home. On a nice centering pass by Daniel. Looks like it'll be Roger going to bury that one home. And a 3-1 lead now here. And a 2-goal advantage once again. Gained back by the Rockets on a nice feed in front by Annabelle Daniel. And a conversation trying to figure out the assist. But I believe it'll be Roger from Daniel. So Daniel's second point of the game. Wait to see the official, or hear, I guess, the official call. But Roger will get the goal. Daniel the assist. We'll see if it was worked up, who worked it up to her. Maybe they'll get the secondary assist, but a 3-1, 2-goal lead now here for the Rockets. 5:03 remaining on the clock. Trying to dump it in. Stevenson, she's got the goal just offside. Couldn't keep it in on the line. Work back. McPherson now working it back. Here's Roger over the line. Looking in front. Roger for Daniel. Couldn't let the shot go. She got in too close to her body. Daniel takes a fall. Trying to work it back. Boutlier's shot up in the air. Knocked down McPherson. Right back. Here's Roger in the slot. Couldn't let it go. McPherson picks it up. Trying to get working up the ice. Chipping it. And she'll go in on the chase now. Poirier back, pressured by McAdam over on the far side, trying to work it out. As the Rocket working back, Ward off the bench, gets stepped around, was Webster. Ward shot there, wide past the blocker. Crozier looking forward and behind her own net. Centering pass, taken away there by McPherson up the far side. Worked up. Mills finds Webster in the middle of the ice. Webster works in on her forehand. Good job there by Arsenault to keep her to the outside. Knock it off her stick and back the other way. Cormier off the skate of Chasson back. Here's a chance. This is Chanel Cormier along with Melody out there. She's going to drive the net. Melody Cormier drives the net off of her, and good blocker save there. McNeil trying to clear it. Doesn't do so. Gives Plourde a little shot there as Plourde and Colpitts collide in a up by the blue line. Chipped out there by Pinot. Will that have enough up on its edge, and it'll go all the way down. Hits the wall. No icing as the official waved it off, thinking they could have got there in time. Now McNeil on the forecheck. Cycling it down. End up Colpitts picks it up. Up the wall. Melody Cormier can't get it as Thomas stepped in. Now it's worked out. Good job to keep with it was Cormier. As that goes down, McGuigan. She'll get pressured by Plourde. Plourde and McGuigan. McGuigan, good job fighting her off as it's backhand attempt into the middle. McNeil touches it up. Past one. Couldn't get it around as Audrey Poirier once again reading the play very well. Good hockey IQ from her. Wearing the C this year for the Rockets. She went one-on-one there with the captain for the opposing squad, and Callie McNeil as McAdam dumps it in. McAdam had a goal last night in the 7-2 loss as McNeil still in there on the forecheck. She's going to put on her work boots, try to get them back within two here with just under, or just over, I guess, is 2.5 minutes remaining here in the third period. 3-1 lead for the Rockets. They look for more. Here is Elaine over the top. Here's Richard in the slot, dropping it back for Elaine off the bench. Chasson will break it up. Not out, though. Puck worked back into the high slot opportunity there, but poked away. Good job there by McPherson as it's dumped in by Chasson. No icing. Off the end wall. The end wall is very lively here in the Evangeline Center here in Wellington, PEI, as Richard goes D-to-D for Boutlier. Stretch pass. Elaine. And a delayed call coming now. And a head contact call. I didn't quite see it, but she was alone on a breakaway, and a head contact called against Fitzpatrick. I didn't quite see it. Must have been behind the play a little ways, but Elaine was in all alone, and the penalty will take that opportunity away, and it looks like a timeout coming up here for the Wolves. So after this short timeout, we'll be back for the last 2 minutes of play here, live on High Button Sports.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
All right, well, welcome back here for the last 2 minutes of play. A power play going to start this last 2 minutes of playoff here for the Wolves as they look to try to get back within two here. A little bit of a miracle, if you might call it, to get back and try to tie this game up. Here's Murray right off the draw, trying to push it forward. Net empty. Crozier to the bench. Pinot up top. McGuigan's shot blocked by Boutlier. Back for McNeil. Shot wide. Chasson going to get to it now. Battled here. Poirier. Or sorry, that's Rodier. Loses it. McGuigan down low. Chasson back to the high slot. Pinot shot there off the end of the stick of the goaltender there. Here's a chance. Tipped on as Stevenson gets his shot. Tipped on. And what a redirection in front from about waist high. And that's not Maya, that's Miley. So the Stevenson sisters with goals here in the game. And it's a 2-1 goal, or a 3-2 game now here. 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining on the clock as the Wolves battling back here once again. 2-goal lead, down to 1. Minute 25 on the clock is Stevenson. Both have a goal here, the Stevenson sisters. Now here's a chance back the other way. Daniel right off the draw. She gets taken down, a delayed call. Loose in front, touched up and cleared back to the point. And that'll be a hooking call here, and it looks like Pinot will go to the box. So Pinot into the box now as Hat bite just seal the fate there for the Wolves as they'll go down short-handed for the last minute and 17 seconds. Going to be tough to score a shorty here. I'll have to look for some kind of stretch play of some sort. Down by 1. We'll wait for the official call for the goal, but that's worked back. Here's Poirier. So Daniel at the point, and she'll work it out. They're just going to try to kill off as much time as they possibly can. McNeil pressuring for Poirier. So Stevenson getting the goal, assisted by number 14, Brooke McGuigan, and number 8, Clara Chasson. Speaking of McGuigan, she dumps it down. Half a minute remaining here in the third period, right onto Redmond. Redmond drops her stick, leaves it for Poirier. Trailing by 1, the Wolves, as Poirier is going to try to kill as much time off the clock as she can. Ward over the line, dishing it wide. Cormier shot. Rebound loose in front. Cleared away, right to Ward. Rebound loose. Crozier fighting it off. Once again, Crozier fighting it off. And that'll be a stoppage of play. Waiting for an official call, head contact call. Slow to get up in front. It is Marissa Richard, so hopefully she's okay. She must have taken an extra shot there. And McPherson's going to go to the box. 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Head contact. And with the last few seconds off the clock, digging down, McGuigan going to take a couple shots from Daniel and Richard, and that'll do it here. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers on a action-packed game here inside the Evangeline Center. 3-2 final. The Rocket coming out on top as they move to 10-1-1. The Wolves will slide to 1-10-0. But that's it for me, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later. Have a good one.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.